that. And whenever I have met him, he is a very, very nice person. He has that sort of character that you want to quite naturally, and I'm sure that has a massive impact on the changing room as well.
Clinton, it's a little bit of a contradiction, isn't it, for a goalkeeper, in that, you would expect a big game personality in a big game means they get really involved in it. We were hearing about Morgan Gibbs-White earlier saying he wants to be involved in thing. That's the thing you want from a goalkeeper, is to be trying to get involved in things. So he somehow manages to shine on the biggest stages despite that big personality in some ways.
Yeah, but you asked Martinez, he loves being involved in it. That's his character. Just speaking to John before we came on, and they were saying he's the number one in the world, and I can't argue with that. He's really up there at the moment. I think he's fantastic. You saw him in the midweek against Bayern Munich, but he loves it. He loves all of it. He likes all the hype around it, and yeah, goalies are bonkers. I don't really get on with goalies, Crossy, but he's an outstanding goalie, and if Martinez told me to do something, I definitely would do it because I respect him. But yeah, goalies, they're oddballs goalies, but he's a top goalkeeper.
Thank you very much. Right, Clinton and Murray standing by, teams in the tunnel. Thank you very much, Rachel, Naden.
Thank you.
What a lovely afternoon so far.
It's been a lot of fun. Julia, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
And we'll be keeping the Parisian field back and forth to Longchamp at different times during the day. We've got the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, which we're bringing you at 3:20. So John Hunt will be for that and another race in the next 10 minutes or so. Listening coming up. If Chelsea Nottingham Forest is going to start on the BBC. Coverage is on right now. Sohail Sahi is at Stamford Bridge for us.
Yeah, and Chelsea unbeaten. They're enjoying their football right now. And why not? Won the last 3, 15 goals scored, and a player in Cole Palmer who's the talk of the division. They're in from their 4-2 first half mauling over Brighton. Morgan Gibbs-White and Hudson-Odoi, they're back in the Nottingham Forest 11 after missing out last weekend due to suspension and rotation.
That match will be on 5 Sports Extra at the end of the women's T20 match between India and Pakistan, which is near conclusion. India have just lost another wicket, 80 for 3, 15.2, chasing 106 for victory. You can watch Tottenham-Liverpool in the WSL on BBC 2 right now. You can listen to Arsenal against Everton via the BBC Sport website. We're bringing Brighton versus Tottenham at 4:30 here on 5 Live. But we get underway at Villa Park with a huge game. Aston Villa versus Manchester United. Teams on their way out. Clinton Morrison's with John Moore.
Yes, huge game. Another huge game. Another day. Another huge match at Villa Park with another former Champions League winning club, the visitors. Manchester United walking out alongside Aston Villa. A rather odd entrance through an avenue of black boxers that were belching out steam as they walked out. As if we needed anything else to build this up. On Wednesday, Bayern Munich were beaten here. Now 4 days later, it's Manchester United. High times for Aston Villa. Even former Blues are coming to watch the Villa.
I don't know how I got let in there. I did get a few comments when I was parking in the car park, John, that you're in the wrong car park. I said, well, you know what, I've got to work, so I'm here. I just want to watch a good game.
But listen, these are obvious high times for Aston Villa, and thousands and thousands of these people inside Villa Park here tonight who had an experience that they will never forget, and they've come back on Sunday afternoon and they've come back for more.
Yeah, they have come back for more, and listen, the atmosphere the other night was fantastic. A lot of people that come here, they said it was one of the best atmospheres they've seen at Villa Park. You just hopefully there's not a hangover from the midweek game, which was a fantastic result, but they should be full of confidence going into the game. More pressure on Man United, John.
Yeah, and Manchester United and their supporters will be hoping there is a hangover for them to try and take advantage of. Just about to begin here in the Premier League. They've just finished, I think, with Kenny Crawford in the Premiership.
They are indeed. County 1, Celtic 2 with 15 minutes left in the match. Celtic had already conceded their first goal of the season and were staring at their first Premiership defeat since March. It's a long time in football, 15 minutes. And Nicholas Kuhn and Alistair Johnson scored goals to make it Celtic 2-1 winners against Ross County. 21 points. Ross 1, Celtic 2.
Yeah, 21 from 21, and Aberdeen be kicking off at 3 o'clock against Hearts, but this is the 2 o'clock kick-off. This is a 5 Live commentary, but there is a choice of listening because the other 2 o'clock kick-off, Chelsea against Nottingham Forest, is getting underway shortly, and you can listen to that on Sports. Extra with Charlie Slater and Stephen Kelly bringing you the commentary. But here we are, ready to go. Manchester United down in 14th place in the Premier League after yesterday's match. Aston Villa, claret shirts with the blue sleeves, white shorts, blue socks, just like against Bayern Munich here on Wednesday night. And just as in the Bayern Munich match, Clinton Morrison, the opponents have turned them around, so they're attacking towards the Holt end in the first half.
Yeah, I could hear a few boos from the Aston Villa fans because they weren't happy with that, but it worked for them against Bayern Munich.
So the Aston Villa launching their first attack now over the halfway line with Matty Cash. Started the first 2 matches of the season, but then got injured in the game here against Arsenal, and he just the ball to Barkley, looks for a 1-2 with Rodgers, and Manchester United clear out of play, deflected off Rashford. He actually had the ball blasted into him by his teammate Dallo, and it's out of play, hence the cheers for a throw-in to Aston Villa. The Chelsea-Nottingham Forest match is actually on the BBC Sport website just now until the cricket finishes, the T20 match between India and Pakistan. So that is on Sports Extra right now. You'll find Chelsea, Nottingham Forest via the BBC Sport website and app. But here on 5 Live, BBC Sounds, Aston Villa 0. United 0, an overcast afternoon at Villa Park. Just off the Aston Expressway, and Villa playing the ball back through Pau Torres. Goalkeeper Martinez. Pau Torres, the man who played the pass that set up the goal. There was a bit of talk, Clinton, that Unai Emery might go for Watkins and Duran starting today. but not so.
Yeah, I think if Leon Bailey might not have been fit, he might have done that and he might have played them both together. But we'll probably see maybe this afternoon them both playing together, depending on the scoreline.
Right, we're watching cat and mouse here. Got the ball, the Villa goalkeeper just walks out of the penalty area. With the ball, almost puts his foot on it and waits for some movement. But Manchester United sit off Aston Villa. As Ericsson now, Manchester United in these cream shirts that they're wearing, one of their change kits this season, the cream shirts. With the red, white and black horizontal band across the chest. Quite substitute, just the one start so far before today this season. That was in the Carabao Cup against Wickham. But Renana and Tielemans, as Clinton says, have been a very good combination there for Villa, who've lost just the one match this season, the home match against Arsenal. Breaks down for Villa coming through the middle, and it's cleared away downfield by Harry Maguire, and Aston Villa have got it back. First time in the Premier League that Maguire and Evans have started together this season. The old firm, if you like. Started in the Community Shield against Manchester City, started against Barnsley in the Carabao Cup together, but here they are starting in the Premier League. Big surprise for me to see Martinez being left out by Eric Ten Hag in particular. De Ligt, of course, has struggled. He has Cash to Konza in defence. Konza back there instead of Diego Carlos, and Konza just knocking it to his left to Torres. Dark hair flopping out to the left-hand side. Aston Villa winning a throw-in. No, it's kept in play by Manchester United, who've got it halfway inside their own half. So it is time for our latest race from the ARC meeting, and John Hunt will let us know what's happening in the Prix de l'Abbé.
Yes, fast and furious here, John. 5 furlongs and they're already through halfway. Washington Heights favourite Brad Sell and Holly Doyle looking poised right up there. Desperate Hero is followed then by Rogue Lightning in 4th place. Kurdos is in behind them. And then Starlust trying to find a way through against the inside. Running rail. Aesop's Fable is well back down the field. To go. Here's Makarova as well. Makarova and Brad.
Roar there, you might have heard. Rodgers had a go at goal from 22, 23 yards out, but it hit the side netting, and I think everyone in the Doug Ellis stand on the far side thought it had ended up in the back of the net, but it was wide and it's still 0-0.
Yeah, it was good play from Rodgers. He's getting into pockets. You can see Ericsson's getting frustrated with Evans. He's saying you've got to come out and mark him. Good 1-2 with Watkins, and really he should be hitting the target, John. It's a good opportunity.
Yes, it was.
From across low on the ground. Manchester City in control, leading West Ham by 1-0.
So that's a 1 o'clock kick-off, and Arsenal Everton just got underway with you, Paul Scott.
Yeah, 12 minutes gone. Still Arsenal 0, Everton 0. The right back in space behind her, cross-come shot bounced off the top of the crossbar. Still Arsenal 0, Everton 0.
And there's commentary on that match via the Sport website and app. And how have things started? While he does so, let's see how things have started at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League. Sohail Sahi.
But Madueke with a jink and run from the right for Chelsea into the penalty area. His left-footed shot hit the side netting. Only chance of note so far. Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 0.
And for the time being, commentary on that is on the website as well. Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0. So Diego Carlos coming on in the 12th minute, and Ezri Konsa is off. So 2 injuries on Wednesday night for Ramsey and Onana. Now Konsa's injured. All of the commitments for Aston Villa this season.
He needs.
In possession. You know, if Wednesday night has drained Aston Villa in any respect, that increases Manchester United's chances of getting a result here. It has to.
Yeah, of course it is. It's a bit quiet, it's a bit flat, the atmosphere at the moment. Obviously it's a bit quiet because of the injury to Konsa. He's one of their key players and one of the best defenders in the Premier League at the moment.
Onana, long pass from him, just keeping an eye on Rodgers as well as Cash cushions the header back to Martinez, and it remains Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0. Matty Cash is just indicating. Oh no, it's just going to. Is he just tying his laces? Is that all he's doing? Martinez has got the ball on the ground. And Martinez is doing nothing. This is absolute stalemate here. Martinez is fouled. Yeah, Villa haven't really got going here after Wednesday.
No, you kind of fought that with Aston Villa. Obviously made a few changes, and then you get an injury to one of your best defenders, Konza. So that's where you need the crowd to get behind you, and they are starting to get behind this team.
5 Live, early start here for Manchester United on a Sunday afternoon after Tottenham last week. Weekend, which was one of the matches to forget for Erik ten Hag, and he's just standing down there to our right watching Eriksson prepared to take this free kick, raised his left arm. Actually plays it square to Mad, and then it comes square again to Bruno Fernandes, red carded in Manchester United's last matches. Erik's long pass into the area, that's hooked away by Rodgers, comes out to Maguire. Maguire heads it back to Bruno Fernandes, who had last Sunday's red card rescinded during the course of the week, hence that he can play in this match. As Maguire goes down rather easily, doesn't get the free kick, was challenged by Rodgers. The throw in up to Bailey. Manchester United have got possession back, and at the moment it's Manchester United who are first to everything.
No, they are. Listen, Villa feel disrupted by the Konza. You need the game to settle down. They'll have a spell, and this is Man United's spell. But credit Man United, they have started well. They've had good shape before the Konza's injury, and the shape looks really good.
But now Aston Villa, having lost Konza, so Anana, McGinn, Ramsey and Konza, probably 4 starters for Aston Villa. 4 first choice men not available. Gallo does well, slips the pass forward. Højlund on the chase now, but Diego Carlos does very well. Shoulder to shoulder with the young Dane, wins the ball and puts it out of play.
Wow, that was good strength. I thought he was in there, Hoyland. He could have got his head up and played it first time, but good defending from Carlos.
Yeah, he's in the swing, Carlos, having started the last two, but given a rest today. 31 years old, Diego Carlos, and hasn't had a great deal of football this season, so you can probably understand it. But yeah, he looked ready to go with that challenge. Throw in Manchester United lose possession. Rodgers flicks it up the line nicely. Here's Bailey, who I wasn't expecting to be fit for this game after being subbed as the substitute the other night, clears it to the halfway line, and then Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes just takes charge of that and plays it back to Nana. On the counter, of course, of the fact that Villa were involved in the great occasion on Wednesday, Manchester United mean well, have played on Thursday night, 24 hours later, and have had to come back from Port in that.
And played with 10 men.
For
large
a lot of the game
as well, yep.
Yeah. Although I don't think their journey was as bad as some of the supporters who...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, real problems with the Porto fog as Onana passes the ball out to Dalot, now across to Maguire, and then Maguire here to the left-hand side to Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans, 35 on his back, now 36 years old. Eriksen, another of the veterans, years old. Christian Eriksen, choice in midfield. Today, Eriksen and Nenu, with Ugarte on the bench as the ball's passed forward by Rashford. With Fernandes probably almost 10 yards offside, but Martinez able to come out of the penalty area, whack it downfield, and Aston Villa are back in possession in front of their own penalty area. Nothing like the same atmosphere as Wednesday night. Influenced by the fact that Manchester United have had more of this game. And it was something else on Wednesday. And if you are a Villa fan and you didn't listen to the whole thing again on Wednesday night via BBC Sounds. To BBC Live, look for stations and schedules, go back to Wednesday and listen to it again. And I should give a shout out to Mark Ward, who was our OB engineer, our outside broadcast engineer, who did a brilliant job of balancing the sound that night as Diego Carlos hits a long pass down the left-hand side, but it's played back to Tielemans on the halfway line.
Everton is a collision with him and Evans, and both players are down at the moment.
Has gone down, but he's climbing to his feet. Johnny Evans is stretching as though he's feeling a little bit of cramp there as well. This is Johnny Evans' 400th league appearance alone in England today, and only his 6th appearance of this season, and just keeping an eye on him as he's just limping rather. So Martinez has been sent out to warm up for Manchester United. Play back underway. Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0. Not the thrills and spills of Wednesday night by any means so far.
Things can only get better, John.
Cagey.
Very much so.
Here's Cash and Bailey. Leon Bailey, he loves to be able to play on the counter as well, doesn't he, with the pace that he has. Back to Cash. Now Pau Torres. Slips it forward towards Tielemans. Miscontrolled it there. Bruno Fernandes nearly won it back. Barkley beats it forward. Maguire wins a header against what Manchester United supporters over there on that far side were shouting for a throw in. But Bruno Fernandes loses possession. Barkley, now here's Bailey. First time really on the right wing for Aston Villa. Bailey tees it up for Barkley, but in the challenge from Johnny Evans. So I think might have hurt himself in that as well. In fact, he's been given a free kick after Barkley just followed through onto him. So it's a free kick to Manchester United in their own penalty area. It remains Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0, with almost half an hour played. Still Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Commentary on Sports Extra. And in the Women's Super League, Manchester City West Ham. Danny Radravajala.
70 minutes gone. Manchester City still leading 1-0 against West Ham. The goal from Lauren Hemp, who's just been substituted. Bunny Shaw, though, is on, as is Viviana Miedema. They missed the hatful against Brighton, the 1-0 win. They missed loads today, but they've got more players on now. 20 to go.
And Paul Scott with the latest on the Arsenal-Everton WSL match.
Half an hour gone here. It's Arsenal 0, Everton 0. Arsenal unable to break down this resolute Everton defence so far. Kyra Cooney-Cross came close a few moments ago, a 1-2 on the edge of the area. She slalomed through a couple of challenges but was off balance as she tried to pull the trigger. And Mariona Caldente forced a save from Courtney Brosnan, who got down comfortably to her left-hand side. It's Arsenal 0, Everton 0.
Back to Manchester City, Sani.
Well, I said that City were turning the screw, and they've just scored a second goal. It's Lauren Fowler with a point-blank header. Manchester City 2, West Ham 0.
And all the highlights, by the way, on the Women's Football Show tonight on BBC One, which is after Match of the Day 2. Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0. Aston Villa defending well, as they did on Wednesday night, so well against Bayern Munich, keeping only their second clean sheet of the season, both of them in the Champions League. And Manchester United, Rashford had a little dart there but couldn't make anything of it. Menu now, right foot pass out towards Garnacho on the far side, then it comes into Menu lifted over the top. Bruno Fernandes on the chase. Pau Torres comes across. Pau Torres very tight there to the Manchester United captain. Kobe Menu now, shimmy from him, dropped his shoulder. Manchester United keep possession, back to Mazraoui, then it comes back to Harry Maguire, square to Diego Dallo, and then Johnny Evans hits a long pass over the top of Garnacho. It hits Digne, could have gone anywhere. Garnacho slides in, wins it against Tielemans. Garnacho bounces away from him, and then it's cleared away downfield by Diego Carlos, and out of play for a throw.
Yeah, they look tired, the Villa players. The ones who played in the midweek, they look really tired, and they just have to stay in the game at the moment because Man United are having a spell.
You know, and the way that the game has gone so far, I must say, this looks like a real opportunity for Manchester United here against Aston Villa, who are showing signs of the efforts that they put in on Wednesday. Rashford on the left, his ball in is headed away on the edge of the box, comes out to Barkley. Barkley does well. Excellent play. Found the pass forward to Rodgers. Rodgers on the surge for Aston Villa through the middle. Plays it to Watkins, who's peeled away to the right. Watkins, though, excellently challenged by Johnny Evans. Superb from the veteran. And now, you wouldn't know it because he's bursting forward, Johnny Evans, and now he's out of position as Højlund has lost the ball. Tielemans is going to give it to... back to him. He does shoot into the body of Evans, who is back in position, and that deflects wide for a corner.
Yeah, it was good defending there. He couldn't sort his feet out. Good run. Rodgers is the one for Villa who's getting into pockets, and Evans and Maguire don't want to come out because they've got Watkins to deal with, scared of his pace, but causing problems at the moment, Rodgers.
Lucadinha walks across. Take this corner for Aston Villa, back in the French squad this season, back in the French team last month under Didier Deschamps. Lucadinha, and just placing the ball in the quadrant, one of the many players who will be off on international duty over the course of the next week or so. Corner for Aston in front of the famous Holt End. Digne into the near post, but that's headed away by Bruno Fernandes. Good distance on it.
To the linesman, who didn't give it, by the way. So he's having a go at the wrong person. It was the referee that gave it, but he's been
Yeah, and still the protests continue there. And Marcus Rashford has come across and had a word.
And I think he might have booked Marcus Rashford as well, maybe.
For what he said.
Yep.
We'll see if we can confirm that.
Unless he's writing so slow, when still from
maybe. Maguire did go in with his arm raised.
Yeah, it was a foul. It was across his throat, so it was a foul.
I think the yellow was for the challenge.
Yeah, spot on, John. I do think it's not the reaction, it's the challenge.
So it's a free kick to Villa in a good position in front of the Holt end. Austin McPhee, the set piece, has taken charge. Unai Emery's gone to sit down. He's clapping his hand to McPhee, and he's trying to get some instructions out there. You'd think they'd have had this all worked out beforehand, wouldn't you? Anyway, for effect, Digne to take the free kick. On the right, Manchester United, everyone back inside their own penalty area. 37 minutes on the clock. Villa, who haven't been able to raise themselves so far today, but a good chance here. There's lots of wrestling going. Digne fires it in, straight at Onana, who holds the ball securely into his yellow jersey.
Yeah, sometimes they work well, but that did not work well, because that's just a basic free kick that goes into
0-0, 5 Live, BBC Sounds. Garnacho on the move down the left wing now. Garnacho taking on Cash, cuts back. In comes Barkley, who's done very well, I must say, in the match so far. Barkley, for his first Premier League start since returning to Villa. Now Bruno Fernandes, low ball into the area, but that's cleared away, hooked away by the right boot of Carlos. Headed back forward by Evans. Rashford took a touch. It's landed at the feet of Garnacho. It's Cash, shoots at the near post, but Martinez, it was going wide, but Martinez dives wide of the goal and catches it anyway.
Yeah, it's practice. Garnacho's beating Martinez from there. He should be really setting Bruno Fernandes on the edge of the box.
Held securely by Martinez, full of confidence. I'll save and catch them even if they're going wide. Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0, still Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 0, and if you've just switched on, Celtic came from a goal down to beat Ross County. So 2 goals in the last 15 minutes. Ross County 1, Celtic 2, and they'll be getting underway at Pittodrie, Aberdeen against Hearts in the next half hour or so. So 0-0 here. And here is Diego Carlos, long and right-footed from him, looking for the run down the left of Digne. First time cushion volley back to Philogene. Philogene then just again out towards the left-hand side. Still the drizzle is in the air. Barkley moves from left to right across the edge of the penalty area. Bailey, left foot. Bailey went for goal, took a deflection, double deflection, comes out to Thiel. Philogene inside the box. His touch though, Menu is able to move across, take the ball away, and then there's a foul on Garnacho and a free kick to Manchester United to the edge of their own penalty area. So it remains goalless here in the Birmingham drizzle. Back to West London.
And here it remains goalless too, John. 5 minutes to play the first half between Chelsea and Nottingham Forest. Murillo just had an effort for the visitors. He won the ball in midfield, drove forward and let fly 25 yards out. Stung the palms of Robert Sanchez, the Chelsea goalkeeper. Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 0.
Commentary on that on Sports Extra. This is on 5 Live. We'll have commentary on the big race at Longchamp, de l'Arc de Triomphe for 3 or thereabouts.
Harry Maguire's going to have to come off. he's just signalled to the bench to Ten Hag that he's feeling something in the back of his leg. I just saw it, and De Ligt's just been told to warm up.
And then there's a collision centre field. Menu and Tielemans went for, I would say, a 50-50 and have slid into one another, but actually yellow card's been shown to Menu.
Yeah, he slips at Menu, and that's why, and he does catch Tielemans, so it is, I think, the right decision from the referee. But the game's too stop-start at the moment.
Yeah, just went in for the ball and then caught Tielemans as well. So
yeah, it's the follow-through. He gets the ball, but it was the follow-through, John.
So another yellow card for Manchester United. That's 3 already. And as Clinton spotted, don't miss much, Clinton. Harry Maguire's just hitched up the left side of his shorts. So Villa have already lost one of their central defenders, Konza, and Harry Maguire is not going off yet. But as you said, De Ligt and Martinez, actually they're both warming up for Manchester United, just down in front of us here. Low commentary position for us, left of the halfway line, very close to the action. Watching Aston Villa coming forward. Maguire just seeing if he's going to be able to continue, it would appear. Villa with the ball inside their own half. Also keeping an eye on the golf. The golf finishing today at St Andrews, the Alfred Dunhill Championship. Tyrrell Hatton and Nicholas Colsaert's vying for it. Tommy Fleetwood not far away. Here is Bailey on the right-hand side for Aston Villa. Bailey against Dalot, cuts in field. He's got support there from Cash. And Cash arriving, but Marcus Rashford tracking back. That's what Erik Ten Hag wants him to do. And Villa have to, with those two, Rashford and Dalot, working well together defensively. Villa have to go back centrally. Pau Torres forward. Fellaini with a touch. It was a little short, so it probably break down for Aston Villa. This it does. Mazraoui has cleared it, but he's cleared it to Fellaini. I think was shoved over by Garnacho. It's a free kick. Garnacho's furious. It did look to me, even though it's a distance for us, that he had his hands in the back of the Villa man.
Yeah, I think it was the slightest contact, and Fellaini was looking to go down anyway, because I think he's going to lose control of the ball, but there's a little tug from Garnacho on his arm, and the referee makes the right decision.
So a free kick to Aston Villa, this time from the left-hand side. We're in the 43rd minute, half-time approaching, after what has in the main been a disappointing first half.
You're being nice, John, but yeah, very disappointing with the quality that Aston Villa have.
So Tielemans it is who's going to take it from over there on the left flank. Harry Maguire still got one side of his shorts hitched up, so he's clearly still not right, you would say. Tielemans waits. There's the whistle. Here's the free kick for Villa. In it goes into the 6-yard box and straight into the gloves of Anana, who's able to make an untroubled catch.
That kind of sums up the game, because usually Tielemans this season and even Digne on the other side before have great delivery, and all the crosses been into Anana's hand. I think Harry Maguire will give it till half time, John, because there's only a couple of minutes to go.
Yep. 0-0, which for Manchester United is quite a rare experience. Over the course of the last week, the goals have been flying in. 6 into their net from Tottenham and Porto. Ball's cleared into the centre circle. Eriksen heads it forward, but straight onto the chest of Pau Torres, and Villa have lost this collision between and Tielemans. Højlund now to the edge of the area. Villa have got back in numbers. Rashford scoops it forward with his right foot. But got that all wrong, and it just bounces harmlessly through for a goal kick to Villa.
They lack so much in the final third, Man United. You know, like, this is the best time that you could play Aston Villa, because they've not been, but Villa will improve in the second half, and this is United's chance, John, where to capitalise. But you can see there's no confidence in that final third at the moment.
United, here we are, almost the middle of October. Manchester United have scored a grand total of 5 goals in the Premier League. Only Southampton have in the league in the top division this season. Nene, he was caught in possession.
Oh, could he get?
Although Watkins seems to have in that John and has stayed down. Aston Villa could, but I think everyone's casting an eye. Ollie Watkins, but he's on his feet. Watkins back up, trotting forward. And Unai Emery says, again, he's not happy, is he? Turns away, has bowed.
It's because the tempo's slow, John. They were waiting for Watkins. I think they were trying to be clever because He's just been booked, so before could he get a second yellow?
3 minutes of added time at the end of the first half.
Minimum 3 minutes added time. A minimum 3 minutes added time.
I think that makes it very clear. Ericsson long and forward for Carlos to chase, but Højlund there, shoulder to shoulder. The two of them come together. The ball bounced for what is given by referee Jones as a goal kick, and Højlund on his feet, waving his arms in the air, but the referee just calmly points to the 6-yard goal kick for the home side.
It's a good race, that, you know. Carlos, he can shift. Carlos, you say about his age, but he can shift still for his age. And Højlund's much younger than him, and he's defended well.
Well, you were showing me the pictures earlier, weren't you, of Traore against Kyle Walker from yesterday, which I didn't see last night. Yes, I know. Not for Kyle Walker, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Here's Watkins on the right-hand side. Lays it to the edge of the area. Tielemans tries to lift it forward, but that sums it up, really. Again, for Villa, Tielemans not getting that quite right. And in the end, Mazraoui's able to clear it away, and the ball just bounces out of play near the halfway line for a throw-in to Villa. Still 0-0 at Stamford Bridge. We're going to go there in a moment or two. Half-time approaching here. Yet to see a Premier League goal today. I'm not sure that'll be the case in the Brighton-Tottenham game from 4:30, so listen out for that. But a free kick to Villa right towards the end of the first half here, while they organise themselves. What's the news from Stamford Bridge, Sohail Sahi?
Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 0. John, very quiet opening 45 minutes, which came into life in the last few minutes. Cole Palmer was denied after a goal-mile scramble, took the pace of his effort, and Nottingham Forest, they responded, and Ryan Yates' goal-bound shot was blocked by a scrambling Chelsea defence. Half-time, Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 0.
Yeah, it's one of the big questions of the coming week for England, about what Lee Carsley's going to do now that he'll have, as long as they all come through unscathed, Bellingham, Foden and Palmer. So listen out for that. Thursday night, live from Wembley, England against Greece. 5 Live, the place to listen to Finland, England as well next Sunday. Free kick then for Villa. They're ready now. Deep in added time at the end of the first half. Tielemans with the right foot, or Digne with the left. It's Digne who curls it in. Poor delivery, straight onto the head of Bruno Fernandes on the edge of the penalty area. Villa again. Tielemans puts his foot on the ball. Deep delivery to the back post, but it's over Watkins. He leapt for it, and then Carlos shoulder to shoulder with Bruno Fernandes. The ball bounces out of play. I think, has that been given as a free kick? I think it might have been for the challenge.
And then Harry Maguire's down again. Yeah.
And it looks as though he might not actually reach half-time. Yeah, they're going to have to make a change now, Manchester United, even though
I don't know why they didn't make the change then, because he didn't signal and say he was struggling. But that's Harry Maguire. He always wants to give it a go, and it's another huge blow for him.
Much better defensively, but still poor going forward, aren't they? I mean, I agree with what both of you have said in commentary. It does feel like an opportunity for Manchester United, because Villa do look a little bit flat, and yet they're not creating chances, are they?
No, they're not. Yeah, and defensively better, because Villa have not really been a threat going forward, and they've got a couple of injuries. I get that, and there's a hangover from the Bayern Munich game, but it's going forward, and you're looking at, can you get the likes of Garnacho, Rashford, Højlund, Bruno Fernandes into the game? And they haven't, and when they have been on the ball, they've lacked quality in that final third.
OK, Clinton, John, thank you for the time being. So 0-0s across the board. Villa 0, Manchester United 0, and on 5 Sports Extra, Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 0 at half-time. We'll take our first trip to the Amex ahead of our 4:30 game, which is Brighton versus Tottenham Hotspur. We'll be in the Championship. We'll go to Pittodrie. We've got the rugby union between Saracens and Exeter about to get underway. Back to Longchamp and the women's T20 cricket. Loads to fit then before the second half. Let's get the news now with Joe Hornby.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Sue Gray has resigned from her role as the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff. She will take up a new government role as the Envoy for Nations and Regions. In a statement, Sir Keir Starmer thanked her for all of her support. Here's our political correspondent, Harry Farley.
Controversy has surrounded Miss Gray for several weeks now. The BBC revealed a few weeks ago that she was paid more than the Prime Minister, and she's been subjected to several briefings, I suppose, from people inside Downing Street, criticising her role and how she's running Downing Street. I've spoken to several civil servants and political advisors who have expressed frustration.
The Israeli military is calling on residents in parts of southern Lebanon to evacuate. It follows some of the heaviest bombing to date of the capital Beirut as Israel continues its campaign against Hezbollah. The Israeli ambassador to the UK, Sipi Hotovali, told the Sunday with Laura Kunsberg programme it was Hezbollah's fault.
Why those civilians had to leave their homes? Because they had ammunition and rockets in their homes that Hezbollah used them as human shields. This is Hezbollah's fault. The south of Lebanon, by sitting on our border, Hezbollah was planning to do the same ground invasion that Hamas planned. Israel cannot afford another 7th of October.
A woman has been killed and several people wounded in an attack on a bus station in the city of Beersheba in southern Israel.
off back-to-back defeats. Sarries have won.
Top of the table rivalry in English rugby, but as you mentioned there, Steve, two teams with very different starts to the season here at the Stonex. Saracens beginning a new era without Owen Farrell, the Vunipolas, many more. Could be the only team to make it 3 wins from 3 in the Premiership today. England captain Jamie George starts for the first time this season as one of 3 changes. Maro Itoje is not involved. Exeter, as you already mentioned, looking for their first win of the campaign. 3 losses out of 3 is not a good start for them. They are looking for their first win at the Stonex since 2017. 7 changes for them. Rob Baxter ringing the changes. A first start for prop. Will Goodrick Clark among them. The players just making their way out of the tunnel here. The kick-off at 3 o'clock.
Celtic are top of the Scottish Premiership after a come-from-behind 2-1 victory over Ross County. They've won 7 from 7. Aberdeen can join them with the same perfect record if they beat bottom-of-the-table Hearts at Pittodrie. About to get underway. Gavin Wallace.
Yeah, not far away from getting underway. Good afternoon from Aberdeen. We've just had a big display, saying semi in front of us for Neil Simpson, a Gothenburg great who is part of that team that beat Real Madrid in the Cup Winners' Cup in 1983. He's announced his retirement from everything to do with football. But back to the football then, as you say, Aberdeen flying high at the moment. Hearts going through a bit of a managerial change. They're talking to about 8 candidates just now. They may have turned a bit of a corner. They've made 6 changes to the team that won midweek away at Dynamo Minsk. Aberdeen, no surprise, it's the same team there. And you go back to this point last season, believe it or not, Hearts finished third, 20 points ahead of Aberdeen. If Aberdeen win today, Steve, they'll be 19 points ahead of the visitors. So we hopefully will have a decent game in prospect.
So Hearts bottom of the Scottish Premiership. Cardiff City are bottom of the Championship. Going to Ashton Gate. It's the 7-side derby against Bristol City. Molly Stevens.
Yeah, and both sides opting for an unchanged starting 11 from midweek, Steve. Not just bragging rights on the line here today, with just 27 miles separating these football clubs, but potentially a job too. Interim boss Omar Riza will be hoping to lift Bluebirds off the bottom of the Championship as he stakes his claim to become the permanent manager. Only one of the last 24 league meetings between Bristol City and Cardiff City has ended as a draw, a goalless draw in October 2015, so let's hope for goals today.
Thank you very much, Molly. We'll be back to Villa Park shortly. Brighton against Tottenham is the 4:30 commentary on Premier League Sunday. Chris Wise and Mark Warburton, our team at the Amex Stadium. Good afternoon, chaps.
Hello, Steve. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Chris, looking forward to this?
Yeah, very much so. I think we all are, really. The Highline Derby, they're calling this, aren't they? Brighton against Tottenham Hotspur. So much talk about the two teams and their styles in these first few weeks of the season and how that will play out on the pitch today. I mean, from a Tottenham perspective, last 5 games, 5 wins. They really look like they've turned the corner under Ange Postecoglou. And I think Brighton got a bit of a wake-up call last week under Fabian Hertzler, because everything had been bright and breezy since he came in, and then suddenly they went to Stamford Bridge, and perhaps because of the way they played the game, they were turned over in London last week. So, Mark, I guess that makes it very intriguing.
It will be. We have 2 managers here, Chris, who believe firmly in their styles. Their attack of the tent is clear for all to see. They're brave in what they do. The players are bought into that philosophy. So I think we're in for an outstanding game of football. It is indeed about... the high lines is indeed about ball and the 1v1 situations, but I think today we see a fantastic game of football.
I honestly think high line, Mark, almost doesn't do it justice the way they played at Chelsea. I mean, it was incredible. It actually reminded me, ironically, of Tottenham in that 4-4 against Chelsea last season.
Absolutely. We could have easily seen a 6 or 7-all draw, couldn't we? So many chances. You're almost at your worst when you have the ball at your feet because they're going to press you so high. But we have 2 teams here. The stats tell you they run hard, they sprint hard. So I think we're in for a very high-tempo game of football. But it's about the mistakes. It's about being clinical in the final third. But no doubt 2 teams with that great attacking philosophy who will create chances this afternoon.
I'm really interested, Mark, in your take on this. So I don't know if you've seen this, but Ange Postecoglou was asked by our own George Cummins this week, about the fact that he actually had Fabian Hürzeler into Tottenham to watch training last season, obviously with no way of knowing that he'd be coming up against him the following season in the Premier League. So I wonder how many trade secrets.
I'm sure Fabian was scribbling away furiously, taking all the notes and looking at the various drills and exercises. But no, I think Fabian, he's impressed a lot of people with his hunger to learn, his desire, and obviously his standing already in the game at such a young age as well. So I was here for the Man United game. It was his substitutions which changed the game. They were brave and they won it for Brighton that afternoon. I think this afternoon more of the same. Two very brave managers, as I say, very attack-minded. It should be an outstanding display of football.
Steve, I wonder whether when Ange after the game goes into Fabian Hürzeler's manager's office, whether he finds any furniture or cutlery there with Tottenham brands on.
Just before we let you both go then for now, Brighton, Chris, particularly important for them because as interesting as their start was and as good as their start was, they are in poor form now.
Yeah, they are. They haven't won in any of their last four in the Premier League, having won those first two games. And actually, this is their worst start to a Premier League season, Brighton, for 4 years. Now, they're not going too badly. They've got 9 points. So far from their 6 games, and I think that probably is reflective of how good those previous campaigns have been at the start under Roberto De Zerbi and before that Graham Potter. The one thing that really stood out for me from Fabian Hürzeler's comments after that Chelsea game was that he said he was going to speak to his players and perhaps adapt things potentially if it's not working for them. That's a very open mind. Thought, and we'll see how that plays out today.
Yeah, we'll be back with you guys ahead of that 4:30 kickoff. They're already underway in the second half at Stamford Bridge. Sahel Sahi.
Yeah, 90 seconds played here, Steve. Chelsea 0, Nottingham Forest 0. The manager has made any changes at half-time. Just going back to the couple of minutes before half-time, Cole Palmer's effort actually was a scramble, goal line scramble. It danced across the goal line, and Matt Salles, the Nottingham Forest. His goalkeeper, he pounced on top of it before it could trickle over. Just started the second half. Chelsea 0, Forest 0.
Thank you very much, Sahel, and remember you'll be able to listen to full commentary of that right now on 5 Sports Extra. Goal at Pittodrie already, Gavin.
Yeah, it's Topi Keskinen for Hearts inside the first, for Aberdeen inside the first couple of minutes. Defensive frailties from Hearts.
On the far side. That was the big news before the match, that Maguire and Evans were the central defensive partnership from the start, but Maguire's had to go off at half-time with what looks like, well, I mean, he really struggled to get off the field. during the half-time break, so he'll be lost, you would have thought, for a period of time. But Martinez remains on the substitutes bench with Lindelof and De Ligt coming on. Evans, of course, the left-sided central defender. And Villa forward, Torres. Chelsea, Nottingham Forest commentary is on Sports Extra, by the way, as Barkley misplaces his pass. Garnacho is able to intercept. Here's Lindelof, just able to get it away up to Garnacho, who goes down rather easily. No free kick won. Garnacho gets up, dispossesses Digne, and now De Ligt passes it back, and then rather belated. The referee gives a free kick.
He's making the game stop-start, because they had the ball still, Man United. I don't know stopping the play. And at the moment, the only thing that's going to get these crowd going, I think, if John Duran comes on the pitch. I think that's what we need, John.
I think it's fair to say that will get them going.
Definitely.
The super sub, we will surely see him at some stage, and that's probably what many of them here today are now looking forward to in the second half. The arrival of the man who scored a goal that has gone down in Villa folklore. Manchester United bringing it forward with Rashford on the left-hand side. Eriksen then comes back to Menu thinks about a shot from distance, but blocked at close range by Tielemans. It ricochets away towards the edge of the penalty area. Then it's won back by Menu then to Rashford cutting infield, right foot shot, that is just over the top. In fact, Martinez has got a fingertip to that. It's a corner.
Yeah, it's a good save, and he's frustrated. Torres, he'll send Unai Emery, he's frustrated. He'll send these subs out to warm up, because Barkley in the midfield's frustrating him. He keeps giving the ball away, but it's brilliant play from Rashford on the left, comes in on his right foot. It's a good save from Martinez.
It was dipping, he had to get a touch on it.
Yep.
And that's a very good save again. Save number
2
of the week.
Oh yeah, of the week, probably 8 or 9.
Yeah. Eriksen then with the corner from the right-hand side. Manchester United are ready. In comes the ball to the back post. Good header away by Carlos. Comes out to Garnacho, who shoots through a crowd but drags it wide of the near post. So a goal kick to Aston Villa. And Manchester United now with the changes at half-time. Onana in goal. Subs Lindelof and De Ligt. Then Evans and Dalot. So that's the back four. Eriksen and Menu with Bruno Fernandes. And then Garnacho on the right, Rashford on the left, and Højlund through the middle. But Marcus Rashford it really was a fingertip save from Martinez. It's not his best save of the week, but it certainly needed saving. Carlos playing the ball out to Matty Cash, who is back from injury today, back in the team for Aston Villa. Poland's Matty Cash. Here's Menu on the left-hand side. In comes the challenge on him. And then Cash is able to play it away to Bailey. Villa can't get out of their defensive third here, but they do work it well. Bailey then chips it in field under to Tielemans, who's found some space here. Tielemans, this is better from Villa. This is more like them. Then up to the halfway line. Digne. Pau Torres joins in the attack as well. He loves to do that. Carrying the ball forward, the tall Spaniard. Now to Digne on the left-hand side, but his cross is charged down by Garnacho. But the ball bounces away and behind for a corner to Villa.
All Villa have to do is speed it up. I think they build up play, and that's how they like to play, but they have to quicken it up once they get into the final third. Good defending from Garnacho.
Yeah, Manchester United, Villa, to an extent, were there for the taking in the first half, and Manchester United weren't able to take advantage. You do wonder, as Clinton promised at half, you find a Football Daily special with the interview that Aaron Ramsdale gave to Kelly Summers, which is well worth listening to. So that is a Football Daily feature-length interview. Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0. Lindelof carrying it up towards the halfway line. Garnacho, Menu rolling it back into central defence. The clue that Meno was going to be fit today was the fact that he was included in Lee Carsley's England squad on Thursday, whereas Branthwaite wasn't in it and wasn't able to play for yesterday. Here is Eriksen, square from him. There might have to be a replacement if Konza withdraws, which you would expect he would after his injury. Here is Bruno Fernandes carrying it forward. And then Bruno Fernandes, long crossfield pass. Garnacho's going to struggle. He just gets his head to it as he's backpedaling almost off the pitch, but he just heads it forward and gives it back to Digne. Aston Villa with Barkley in for the injured Onana. Now Tielemans, lovely ball over the halfway line. Rodgers is able to take it and turn. Rodgers, De Ligt comes in with a challenge, not completely successful. Rodgers then though is dispossessed by Evans.
And he's moaning at Watkins. He's having too many touches, Rodgers, when he's going forward. He has to get his head up and pass the ball quicker.
Morgan Rodgers again in the under-21s this week for England, as Digne just taps the ball back to Martinez in front of the Holt end. Behind him, he raises his hands and applauds, and thousands of others behind him in our eye line do exactly the same thing to mimic their goalkeeping hero. Ball through the middle from Tielemans, that's taken it down by De Ligt. We're going back to Stamford Bridge and Sohail Sahi.
Chelsea have equalised, John. Chelsea won, Nottingham Forest won. They were behind for 8 minutes. It was Noni Madueke, their best player so far. He cut in from the right hand side, left-footed shot, arrowed it past Matt Sells. Chelsea won, Nottingham Forest won.
Another goal for Madueke. We saw him score his hat-trick, didn't we, at Molineux? And he, I'm sure, will get more minutes for England over the course of the next week. Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0. Mention the fact 5 Live, the place for the 2 England matches. We'll have the Scotland game against Portugal as well, amongst others. And also Tuesday night and Wednesday night commentary from the Women's Champions League. 2 big ties. Chelsea, Real Madrid Tuesday, Manchester City, Barcelona on Wednesday. So lots of live football coming over the course of the next week or so. 0-0 here. And Manchester United with a long pass from Eriksen up towards Bruno Fernandes. Digne, though, was able to get to it first and heads it back to the goalkeeper. And Digne gets up and immediately says to the assistant referee that he felt that the Manchester United captain was fouling him. So it remains 0-0. Any sign of John Duran?
He's warming up. Yeah. I think Unai Emery's told about 3 or 4 of them to go and warm up, John.
So John Duran, the sensation, the 20-year-old Colombian, 6 goals now this season. That was his first goal in the Champions League on Wednesday night here. What a goal it was as well. It was the goal, as I said on the night, of a centre-forward in form, wasn't it? Instinctive.
Definitely.
Here is Watkins. Watkins turns. He's not had a chance, has he, Watkins, in the match? Now Cash receives it from Watkins and sets off down the right wing. Bailey is able to take it on. Bailey again to Cash. Cash with a flick. Back to Barkley. Barkley through again to Cash. Cash with a dink. And it's headed wide of his own near post by Dalot for a Villa corner.
Yeah, he picked the wrong pass there. It's good play from Cash, Bailey and Ross Barkley. Delayed it. I thought Barkley was going to pull it. It's a good ball to Cash, but Cash should have whipped that near pass to Rodgers. He's trying to look back for Bailey, and it's good defending in the end.
Corner then. Across he goes to take it. Luca Digne, the Villa supporters down in that corner. The lower part of the north stand, there's a big Villa flag in the corner with the cross of St George. That might be following England this week as well, I wonder. Manchester United fans over there as well. 0-0 the score. Digne then is ready and he takes it short to Bailey, who's on the right corner of the box. Square from him. Tielemans shoots and it's saved by Onana. Diving up to his left. He's able to get both hands to it. He's on target though. Saved by the Manchester United goalkeeper.
Now that's better because that's someone who could make it well on the edge, and it's well worked, Bailey. And it's a difficult ball for Tielemans to hit, but he controls it side foot, and it's a save you expect Onana to make, but it's better from Aston Villa. Yeah,
not quite top corner, was it? That's what he was hoping for, but he just had to move a couple of steps to his left and palm it away. So another corner then. Will they take this short as well? Yes, they will. To Bailey, then back to Digne, who might have been offside, and then Digne plays it through for the run of Philogene, but hits it, goal kick.
Terrible from Digne. I don't even know what he's... Just put the ball into the box. You've got your centre back, your centre halves up. I understand all these clever set pieces, but sometimes there's no harm in just fixing it up, John.
Yeah, Aston Villa 0, Manchester United Villa have improved, just like you promised they would, but they're still not full throttle by any means. Rashford lifts the ball high in field where it's won by Barkley, and now what? Receives it on the right and shoots, but over the top. Onana threw a hand up, but I don't think he got a touch. No, he didn't. It's a goal kick. But Watkins going for goal.
Yeah, it's good play. Good. Barkley wins it, and Rodgers in that number 10. And you said he ain't had a lot of opportunities, and I'm thinking from that angle it's going to be difficult. But when you're centre forward, you haven't had a lot of opportunities. You're just going to have a shot. To be fair,
we heard from Mark Warburton and Chris Wise at half-time from Brighton. I think you've got the team news now, Chris.
Yeah, 2 changes for Brighton. From that defeat at Chelsea last week, Veltman's back from illness. He's into the team. So is Mintez. So out go Estupinian and Vifa. And for Spurs, unchanged from that win you saw at Manchester United last week. So Destiny Udogie is fit, and there is no Son Heung-min as expected in the Spurs squad.
Looking forward to listening to Chris and Mark Warburton. Brighton Tottenham from 4:30. Our 3rd Premier League commentary of the day, our 5th of the weekend. They are underway. Aberdeen are winning 1-0 against Hearts, the early goal for 100% Aberdeen this season, so we'll have more from there in a moment. And underway as well in the Championship, Bristol City against Cardiff City with you, Molly Stevens.
Indeed, John. Goalless at the moment, but Bristol City look desperate to change that, to be honest. Sinclair Armstrong with 2 shots, both saved by Jack Annick. Frantic, lively start, but there has been a delay in play. Cam Pring has just been stretchered off. He's clapped supporters as he goes down the tunnel. Looks to be a knee injury, but we'll wait for confirmation on that. Bristol City 0, Cardiff City 0.
Yeah, we've got a busy period coming up. West Indies against Scotland is underway, so commentary on that is on sports on the BBC Sport website and app. Saracens Exeter is also underway, and we will have commentary coming shortly on the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, the big race, one of the great races of the sporting year, as Cash takes the ball down the right and Rashford just takes his legs away, and the yellow card comes out, and Marcus Rashford, who we thought might have been in the first half but wasn't.
Yeah, he's done well to track him back, but it's just a lazy leg for Marcus Rashford. I think he's frustrated, and he's done ever so well to track back, and that was the question mark over him in midweek. Did he track back? He does well there, and he gives a needless free kick and a needless yellow card.
He's been doing it all game, actually, tracking back, so he has been doing his job. Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe just a few minutes away at Longchamp with Aidan O'Brien and Los Angeles, one of the leading contenders. So stay with us for that. But right now, Villa with a free kick over on the right-hand side, halfway inside the Manchester United half, with the 2-tier Doug Ellis stand as a backdrop. Tielemans ready to take it, but it might be Digne. No, Tielemans comes up. It is Digne. No, Tielemans stops. Then Digne stops. Then Tielemans stops. And eventually Tielemans takes it down the line. In comes the ball from Bailey. And that is cleared away near the penalty spot. Menu heads it away. How many times did they both come up and stop that?
4 times.
Watkins to the area looking for 1-2 with Rodgers, who's got a big smile on his face. Big smile on his face as Manchester United clear the ball out for a throw down the left-hand side. Update from Saracens Exeter, Adam Whitty.
19 minutes gone, Saracens 5, Exeter 0. England captain Jamie George at the end of an old-fashioned Sarries catch and drive. The first try today on his first start of the season. Lazowski's conversion hits the post, so it's Saracens 5, Exeter 0 with 19 minutes gone.
And if you heard the big cheer behind Adam, that was here at Villa Park for John Duran, who's getting ready to come onto the field. That's lifted the Villa supporters, as it did on Wednesday night. They can't wait to see him in action. Villa with a throw on the left. It goes back from left and now all the way over there on the right hand side. Bailey goes past Rashford, who was tripped. He's tripped Bailey. He's already on a yellow card. and that's not worthy of a second yellow card, even though they're howling from it from the Villa stand.
No chance is he getting sent off. I understand why they want him to get it, because he's just been booked, but he has to be careful.
So free kick to come for Villa, but first, one of the highlights of the racing year, the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe, and commentary from John Hunt.
I'm afraid the weather doesn't match the glittering occasion. They're underway in the Arc here, John, in pouring rain in Paris. Been a miserable day in terms of the weather, but what a race ahead of us. And Los Angeles through the early stages for Aidan O'Brien, the Irish Derby winner, settles down in front. Blue stocking, one of only two raiders from Great Britain. For Rafe Beckett sits second, with Hayazark in third place. In fourth is Sunway, Oisin Murphy. That's the second of the British Raiders. Behind those is Sosi, and Sosi, the favourite, representing trainer Andre Fabre. Sosi is then followed through by Zarakem towards the inside, and then for Japan, Shin Emperor poised on the outside. Then we've got Luc de Vega. De Vega was the winner of the French Derby earlier in the season. There's lots of trouble round the bend as Hayazark is being pulled up and drops back through the field, caused mayhem as he did so, and now they're on the turn well past halfway. A thorough test of stamina being set here by Los Angeles. Blue stocking in second place, and the favourite Sosi now in third. Zarakem is next to Sunway, followed then by Aventure. Sixth place, and Shin Emperor still has a chance for Japan on the wide outside. For Germany, Fantastic Moon is next. Delius is in behind those, and then Al Riffa appearing on the scene. The wide outside for him, though, ridden by 55-year-old rider Yutaka. Now the business end of the race, the closing stages of the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe. Los Angeles attempting to make every yard of the running. Blue stocking looks a big threat, though. She's into second place. So next, and way down the outside as well. So the British runners running magnificently here, and one of them, Blue stockings, come through to hit the front for Rafe Beckett and Ross Orion. Aventure's trying to challenge in second place. Los Angeles, Sosi, Sunway bits a retreat. Blue stocking is out in front. Can she hold on from Aventure? The line coming up. Blue stocking from Aventure. Blue stocking it is. Blue stocking has beaten Aventure, and back in third is Los Angeles. A huge win for British trainer Rafe Beckett. And jockey Ross Orion by some way, Ross's biggest ever win in his career. Blue stocking, the filly, has won the Arc de Triomphe and has beaten Aventure and Los Angeles in great style.
Thank you very much, John Hunt, and there will be more on that during the rest of 5 Live Sport. And here at Villa Park, Aston Villa, Manchester United 0. It remains Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1. For commentary, and while you were listening to John, Ollie Watkins had a chance, a volley on the edge of the area. John Duran has come on as a substitute, but not for Watkins. He's taken the place of Bailey, so we've got Watkins and Duran on the field together, and Manchester United making a double change as well, with Rashford and Højlund being taken off. And I have to say, as Marcus Rashford walked off the Eric Ten Hag, a slap on the back and a ruffle on the back of his head, but he didn't look terribly impressed, I must say, Clinton Morrison.
He wasn't. So listen, I think maybe the substitution, because he's just been booked, made another tackle, and he's probably one tackle away from getting sent off. He weren't happy, but I'm surprised it's not Ahmed Diallo and Anthony that's come on. This is a huge faith of confidence bringing him on.
Yeah, Anthony coming onto the field, and Xerxes as well. So it's the latest change. He's made 4 substitutions now, Eric. And the score is still 0-0. And Villa have had much more of the game in the second half. Here's Rodgers receiving it from Philogene. Rodgers into the area, but crowded out by Manchester United shirts. And Bruno Fernandes now is shepherding the ball, and he's being fouled by Rodgers. And there's the whistle. And it is a free kick for the Manchester United.
The referee's doing my head in. He's making it all about the reason to get. It's lack quality. He's not helping it. Every single thing. Time he's given a free kick, it is frustrating the life out of me, John.
Free kick then for Manchester United. So 0-0 yesterday at Goodison Park, and our producer Lee Blakeman, who's going to be carrying out the interviews yesterday, so a 0-0 at West Brom. We could be the 0-0 this weekend. However, I'm not giving up on it yet.
No, John, we must. We're surely going to get a goal.
25 minutes to play. Here's Lindelof and Manchester United with little passes over the centre circle. Menu, who's caught there by Digne. Here's Xerxes, newly into the action. Xerxes infield to Bruno Fernandes, who takes it on. Bruno Fernandes trying to play it round one side. Double deflection there, but it bounces to the feet of Aston Villa's Ross Barkley, and he goes back in his own penalty area, where Martinez had to be sharp out along the dead ball line, and then Pau Torres launches a long ball, which is cut out by Dalot. Bounces for Garnacho, who's now on the left hand side after Rashford has gone off, and there's a tug on the shirt. It's a free kick to Manchester United. And this will be a good set-piece chance for...
Yeah. It's a good opportunity. You can see Cash is tight to... And it's absolutely... I don't know. Anyway, maybe there's a slight contact. Cash can't hold his shirt. I don't know why he's holding his shirt. He gets that right. He makes the right decision.
Yeah, he had a handful of shirt, so it's a free kick to Manchester United. Rashford would have fancied this, wouldn't he, from this angle?
Yeah, definitely.
But Bruno Fernandes yet to get off the mark. Bruno Fernandes for Manchester United this season, 17 attempts on goal in the Premier League. Usually such a reliable source of goals, but he's the man who's the only contender to take this. He's got to beat Emi Martinez in prime form. So from the angle towards the left, Aston Villa have sorted out of their wall, and Bruno Fernandes steps away, but the referee says that he's not happy with, I think, the Manchester United players who are too close to the Villa wall, so he's had to run across Robert Jones and just move them away. And now Bruno Fernandes is ready. Here he comes on his right foot with the free kick. It's over the wall, it hits the bar, bounces out. Garnacho, it's wide from the edge of the penalty area. In fact, it was Anthony arriving on it, left foot on the edge of the penalty area. He pulled it wide of the goal.
He did. It was great technique, Bruno Fernandes, because it has the quality to beat Martinez, and he was beaten. And Anthony's unlucky, to be fair. It's on the half volley, bodies in front of him, but the technique from Bruno Fernandes was fantastic.
Super free kick. It was Emi Martinez diving up there to the right, but it struck the face of the crossbar, bounced out to Anthony on the edge of the area. There were bodies in the way of him, and he tried to bend it into the top corner, but pulled it wide. So Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0 remains the score, but that's the closest we've come. 0-0, still 1-1 at Stamford Bridge, and Brighton against Tottenham to come from 4:30. Still Bristol City 0, Cardiff City 0, and Aberdeen 1, Hearts 0 after Celtic's win earlier. Here's Pau Torres in possession. Pau Torres just allowing the ball almost to come to a stop, and then playing it infield to Ross, and then Watkins out to the right hand side. So John Duran coming onto the field today in the 63rd minute, and we are seeing Watkins and Duran get a few more minutes together, as Unai Emery said that he would be prepared to do, as Tielemans is losing possession in centre field, but then it's very congested in there, and it's out of play for a throw into Manchester United. Back to Saracens. Exeter, Adam Whitty.
Saracens 12, Exeter 0. Sarri's turning it on after a slow start. The first try was forward grunt, the second full of backs flair. Wing Tobias Elliott set free on the right. He's gone through after Burners on to score to the right of the post. Saracens 12, Exeter 0, 27 minutes gone.
Ross Barkley carrying the ball to the edge of the Manchester United box, giving it to his left of Rodgers, who gets it all wrong, trying to cross it, lift it into the area. He overhit it across the face of goal and high and far post.
Yeah, it's poor from Rodgers. Good run from Ross Barkley. He's come alive in the second half. Once he gets in there, if he just slides it across, Duran's got to tap him. But the game is starting to open, causing problems, and Villa now are slowly but surely growing into a full match.
Live from the BBC on this Premier League Sunday. BBC Sounds as well. Manchester United hierarchy are watching down from behind us in the Trinity stand.
Yeah, I've been speaking to them.
I bet you have. Lindelof. Now Bruno Fernandes forward for Xerxes to make the run. Garnacho's available. Still Xerxes. Dispossessed by Digne. Took his eye off the ball. And Digne came across and said, thanks very much.
Got to liven up Xerxes. He's got to be better than that. When you've just come on, you're one-on-one against Carlos.
Bruno Fernandes infield to Xerxes, the powerful Xerxes. Tall man, huge hair, massive thighs, socks down his ankles, but he's got to be better.
He has to be better. He has to be. He's gone to a big football club like Man United. Sometimes you have to hit the ground running, John, especially the situation they're in.
Did scored on his debut.
Exactly, and then they've hold on, we've got, I don't think he's a natural number 9. I think he likes to play in the number 10 role.
Yeah, and hasn't scored since. Here's Anthony now, who's another to prove. Ericsson playing the ball to Garnacho. Garnacho driving in the area, into the box now, low ball across, took action off the defender, but straight to Martinez. That could have gone anywhere off Carlos, but straight to his goalkeeper.
Yeah, and now he's gone down feeling maybe an injury to the back, because he played a lot of football matches, and this was the problem we were going to get with Aston Villa. Loads of football matches. Hopefully he'll be alright. You don't want another injury in that centre back.
Yeah, and Carlos, who had his, he was getting close to doing the splits as he deflected that, so his feet were wide apart. Whether he's just tweaked something. And Unai Emery,
I think the referee said he don't want the physio on, so he might be alright.
Unai Emery in his pocket, staring at the ground. But Carlos is on his feet. It's a little bit like Brenda from Bristol. Unai Emery. Not another one, but he's all right. Carlos is on his feet, and I think he's going to be okay. Still Chelsea 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Bristol City 0, Cardiff 0, and still all this here. I've got a way to go yet. 2 draws for Erik ten Hag from these 2 difficult away matches.
That buys him a bit more time, I think. I think it buys him time. If he lost here and lost here heavily, then it might have been the end of the road. But you just never know. You don't know what the hierarchy are thinking at Man United, because they backed him in the transfer market. Can't then back him and then all of a sudden you just say after 2 months, I'm getting rid of you. Well, they can, because it's their club.
And Jim Ratcliffe, in the warmth of the Barcelona air, said, it's not my decision.
He definitely has a say, surely, John. He's the chairman, he has a say.
One would have thought so,
exactly.
Wouldn't you? Said it's up to the football department, but he's here. I don't think we've seen him with in his hands yet today. Here's Barkley, time yet though. Ball played out towards the right hand side. Cash taking it down the right wing. Garnacho stops his progress. Barkley, these are big moments, aren't they, when it's 0-0 poised like this. And Aston Villa hoping for another big scalp this week. Philogene playing the ball into the box. Here's Duran on the right, hits Johnny Evans, the attempted cross, shouts for handball. He had his hands behind his back. Comes out to Cash again on the right. Manchester United, injury hit Manchester United here with the changes that Eric Ten Hag has made to his defence, looking to hold Villa at bay. Watkins through the middle, strong challenge from De Ligt. Yeah, free kick. He might have got the ball, that's what he's saying, but he got Watkins as well, and it's a free kick in a central area, 23 yards out.
Yeah, it might be a bit too far to, test an honor, but you never know. Someone like a Tielemans or a Luca Digne, this is their area. Or even Duran, he's feeling confident. He can do anything at the moment, John.
He can. John Duran, with his goals this season, 4 of them in the Premier League. They've all come when he's been as a substitute. Likewise, his goal again in the Champions League on Wednesday night here. It's this end that he scored from. But actually, Tielemans and Digne, who are over the ball. And the referee is just moving the Manchester United wall back. And Ross Barkley is there as well. So there are 3 possible takers. So Manchester United have plenty to think about here. Again, the referee is not happy about the distance between the Villa players and the Manchester United wall. And they're going to... Garnacho is also lying down behind, because it's a kick in the central area. They're just conscious of that low free kick. So Garnacho has lain down behind the wall. Free kick then. Oh, no. He's got it all wrong, Digne. High over the wall, but high over the bar as well.
I don't think where that is, that's a left-footed anyway. I think maybe a Barkley or Tielemans should take that. I just don't think... We know he's quality, Luca Digne. He is brilliant, but I think it's a right-footed on this side of the pitch.
15 minutes to play, 5 live from the BBC. Test match will be on air in the morning, 5:45. So Pakistan, England, the whole Test series live from Pakistan with Jonathan Agnew and the team. Test match special with a ball-by-ball commentary. And the latest from the Gulf, Tyrrell Hatton has a clear lead on the final day of the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship. And back to Stamford Bridge, Sohail Sahi.
We've got 10 minutes to play here, John. It's still 1-1, but Nottingham Forest are down to 10 men. James Ward-Prowse being shown a second yellow card. He basically fell onto the ball and grabbed it with both hands, denying Nicholas Jackson on the counter attack. He picked up his first yellow in the first half, second yellow with 12 minutes to play. Chelsea won, 10-man Nottingham Forest won.
Anthony goes for goal for Manchester United, but Martinez leaps to his right and catches the shot that I thought for a moment was bound for top corner.
I must say he's looked sharp since he's come on, John. I question the substitution and why it weren't Ahmed, but Anthony on this right hand side has caused Digne problems. It was a good run, and I thought the angle we were in, going top corner, but catching patches for a goalkeeper of Martinez standard.
Just didn't have enough pace on it, enough whip on it. As Pau Torres took his eye off the ball, so Anthony's back in action again. Anthony against Digne, 2 of them going together, and then across comes Kobe Mainoo as well. The ball deflected out of play. That's given as a Manchester United throw. Rodgers doesn't like the decision, but Manchester United, there's urgency here. There are 3 points to be won here.
They are, and Villa have been sloppy. They haven't been good enough so far. So This is a great opportunity for Man United.
Yeah, Villa have got Watkins and Duran on the field, but Manchester United do sense an opportunity. I feel that. Garnacho coming in from the left-hand side, running into Duran, bounces though. Menu into the box, back to Garnacho, tried to set it up, tried to flick it up, but got it all wrong. Now John Duran lifts the atmosphere around Villa Park under these grey skies. Duran into the centre circle. They want him to shoot from there. He doesn't. He gives it to Watkins. Watkins now on the left wing into the area. Delict gives it low and across, but Lindelof. Near post to put it behind for a goal kick, and it's for a corner. I beg your pardon. Corner from the left-hand side. In amongst the noise there, I got a little word to head somewhere. I wasn't quite sure where it was. There's a goal with you, Gavin Wallace.
There has been just maybe 5-10 minutes before half-time. It's Aberdeen 1, Hearts 1. Frankie Kent, a corner came in. It was really poorly dealt with by Dimitar Mitov. A catch-stroke punch. It was then played into the back, and Kent. Aberdeen 1, Hearts 1.
Here's the Villa corner in front of the North Stand. Still 0-0. Tielemans comes up, but the whistle had gone. The referee has just called a halt to it because, well, Pau Torres and Rogers are under the nose of Onana, and Bruno Fernandes is in there as well. I don't suppose he said something, but he walks away, Bruno Fernandes, and it's actually Pau Torres who is being and Johnny Evans as well. Actually, they're virtually, it's almost like they're glued together, those three. And even as they talk to the referee, they're still sort of chest to back to chest, right on the goal line. Tielemans waits to take this. Still waiting. Here he comes. The corner whipped in. 6-yard box headed away for Manchester United, out to Garnacho, who plays it back and completes the clearance. Still 0 as Digne heads it forward, and then further forward. Here's Philogene on his first Premier League start. Jadon Philogene back into his own half, and now Aston Villa begin to move forward again with 10 minutes to go. Digne back to Pau Torres, who will play it back to Martinez. He was beaten by the Fernandes free kick, but it made a good save from Rashford as well. And Aston Villa have created relatively little at the other end, but here they come. Digne on the left-hand side, his ball, his cross is blocked.
Struggled Digne at left back today, struggled.
Yeah, which may or may not be a result of the big effort that was put in against Bayern Munich. Maybe in these closing minutes.
For Exeter, the half-time whistle has just blown. I've nearly got hit by the ball on the way out. Exeter lead 24-7 over Exeter.
Yes, I seem to remember Robbie Savage once getting hit by the ball in this very seat.
That was deliberate, though.
What, by whoever kicked it?
Yeah, whoever kicked it. They knew it was Sav.
Aston Villa 0-0 with Manchester United. Villa yet to keep a clean sheet in the Premier League this season, but they're thinking of winning this. And another change coming for Villa, and Ian Maatsen, the former Chelsea man, was at Borussia Dortmund last season, who can play in an advanced role as well as on the left side of defence, and Villa with the ball inside their own half with Carlos. Seems to be okay. We thought he'd picked up an injury at one stage, but he's all right, it would appear, which is important for Villa. Pau Torres, certainly with Konza picking up an injury today. Duran to Digne with a pass behind. Duran's going to be able to take it up, take it to the edge of the box. It was hacked away by Lindelof. Still Duran though. Then to Digne. Digne's cross to the back post. That's headed away by Dalot. He was looking for, well, Philogene was arriving, but Dalot watched it well, headed it away. Remains goalless here at Villa Park. Now Philogene on the right again. In comes the cross. That's onto the head of Johnny Evans, who's been able to get good distance on that defensive clearance. Raised eyebrows that Maguire and Evans started in central defence, but he's brought all of his experience, Johnny Evans, to this afternoon. Villa with Cash goes back to Carlos in the centre circle, and Xerxes tries to put pressure on Cash, who takes it out to the right, but Philogene again forced by Garnacho to go back into his own half. We're in the 84th minute now. Digne allows the ball just to bounce up, then heads it infield with Anthony with him, and then Rodgers can't get hold of the ball, and Lindelof goes to put it out of play for a throw next to the corner flag. We're going to see Casemiro come on now, having started in Portugal on Thursday night. Casemiro is going to come on before Maatsen, actually. So a change, and it's Kobbie Mainoo, who of course has missed the midweek match with an injury. I think he's okay, but maybe not able to train as much as he might have done this week.
Yeah, and he's done well in there, Kobbie Mainoo. It's difficult times at Man United, but him as a youngster, he still stands out for me.
Yeah, walking off the field, and Ian Maatsen's coming on for Digne, so that's a straight swap. So he is at left back today, Ian Maatsen.
22, Ian Maatsen.
And play will with a throw in that Maatsen himself will take. 5 minutes to play. 10 yards back from the corner flag. Up he comes, throw into the near post. Duran flicks it on. Ollie Watkins chests it back out of the area to Barkley, who was immediately under pressure. Still Villa with through to Rodgers. No, that flick doesn't come off. Manchester United clear it, but won back by Tielemans. Maatsen now fresh onto the field. Maatsen takes on, but got a poor touch on it. Overhit.
That sums up the game. I'm not having a go at Maatsen, but that sums the game up, the quality. That he's got so much time and he actually runs the ball out of play. And you get games like this, John, where both teams are not really at it. And I understand with Villa, I don't get it with Man United.
Well, Manchester United out of form, under pressure. Manchester United, Europa League on Thursday night.
And before the game, they would have took a...
Certainly so. Still 5 minutes to play, plus added time though. A winner in this match, well, it would be a scrappy win, but it would be a great win. And here's Casemiro with a pass to Garnacho. Garnacho looking to shoot, but it's blocked on the edge of the penalty area. Bounces out to Eriksen. Eriksen then square. Fernandes back to Eriksen. Now Casemiro. Very much had an eye for goal last season, if you remember. Now to Anthony on the right hand side, who didn't. Left footed ball into the penalty area, but straight into the gloves of Martin. Knows who catches it comfortably.
And the fans want him to go quick, but Villa just... It's just the way Unai Emery wants them to play, but sometimes, John, I feel you have to mix it up. I understand you want to play out from the back and go slow, but when Martinez catches it, can he release Watkins or Duran?
On this gloomy Birmingham afternoon, it's matched the match. as Duran is shoved over by Lindelof. Quick free kick taken. Rodgers though wasn't ready for it, and then Lindelof dives in, brings him down. It's a free kick and a yellow card for Lindelof for that. Villa are a little fortunate there, because I'm not sure Rodgers is actually going anywhere, but it's a free kick they've got.
And I know Unai Emery's having a right go at Maatsen. He said, take your time, I want to get the cross into the box.
Closing stages here at Stamford Bridge. Sohail.
Chelsea 1, 10-man Nottingham Forest 1. John, we got 13 minutes of added time to play, and there was a huge rumble between all of the players. Most of the substitutes had Nico Williams push Mark Cucurella in the back. He flew into Enzo Maresca, and then 3 yellows have ensued. 2 for Chelsea, 1 for Nottingham Forest, and I think Nicholas Jackson threw a punch as well, but he was on the subs bench. Chelsea 1, 10-man Nottingham Forest 1, 13 minutes of stoppage time to play.
Heating up there. Hear that commentary on Sports Extra. Still Aberdeen 1, Hearts 1 after the Hearts equaliser. Bristol City 0, Cardiff 0, and 0 here. And Villa have delayed taking this free kick.
Oh, the referee and his technical stuff.
I thought he was coming across to speak to the Villa bench, but actually we're going to have a delay here while he gets that sorted out. So a big moment that we're going to for, because Jones, they have the technicals strapped to their up, and so his orange shirt is being pulled up by the fourth official, and so we've got a delay. You just tapped me on the arm and pointed out that Jim Ratcliffe and Dave Brailsford are deep in discussions up in their seats behind us, and while we continue to wait, why not let's make another trip Chaudhry and Gavin Wallace.
Half time, John. Aberdeen 1, Hearts 1. What a first. Been end-to-end stuff. Hearts really coming into that as the game kicked on. Open goal though started, or the opening goal came on Topi Kiskinen. It was a big deflection. McGrath involved in Clarkson involved in the build-up, and Kiskinen the finish midfield. He gets himself just inside, takes a deflection and over the top of Craig Gordon. The second 10 minutes before half-time, it was a poor clearance from goalkeeper Mitov, and the Aberdeen goal was on the scene at the back post to tap home the cross that came back in. Half-time, Aberdeen 1, Hearts 1.
They've still not been able to sort out the technicals here for the referee. So
I don't think he can hear the communication. He's saying he can't hear, so maybe they've run out of batteries.
We've got
I think we got spare ones up here.
We've got a couple here.
That's what I'm saying. If you throw one down, see what he's touching. Like John.
Yeah.
There he comes. Look, someone there. He's running all the way around. Let's time him.
He's got a briefcase. With a briefcase is up the touchline now. It's a bit like the test match, isn't it?
Yeah.
When they need a new
when balls,
when they need to change
new
the
balls up the night overs.
So he's opened the suitcase. What's he got in his suitcase? I wonder. Just having a look. Oh, there's all sorts of wires and things. Yeah, I'm familiar with all that sort of thing. So So while all that takes place, Villa are still waiting to take this free kick. And where are we heading amongst our... Lots of wires and things. Yeah, I'm familiar with all that sort of thing. So while all that takes place, Villa are still waiting to take this free kick. And where are we heading amongst our array of possibilities? It is to Arsenal-Everton in the WSL. Paul Scott.
Yeah, we're into 4 minutes of stoppage time here. It's still Arsenal 0, Everton 0. Everton hanging on for dear life as the home side through everything, including the kitchen sink, but they have just not been able to find a way through. It's been a really wonderful rearguard display by Everton, who are standing firm in stoppage time. A couple more minutes for them to hang on. Arsenal 0, Everton 0.
At the golf, Tyrrell Hatton leads by 2 shots, playing the 13th from Nicholas Colsaerts, and Tommy Fleetwood is just a shot further back, so he's not out of it. If it comes now, it's going to be very, very late. Rodgers turning. Duran, he can't score from here. He's on the left wing. Gives it into Tielemans. Barkley turning. Now into the box to Rodgers, who clips it well wide. And there we are. I think that might be it. We're in the 8th minute of added time, Clinton.
Yeah, he's for how good Rodgers has been this season. But listen, the whole team have been disappointed. Once he gets into that position, he's trying to clip it to Watkins, but he should be trying to find that far corner. But can't be too critical of Aston Villa. It's been a busy week for them.
Yeah, and for Manchester United, the word at the start of the week after the defeat against Tottenham last Sunday afternoon was that the hierarchy would give Erik ten Hag at least these 2 matches in Porto and here at Villa Park, and he's got 2 draws. 3-3 on Thursday night, 0-0 here at Villa Park. Unai Emery turns towards him, handshakes between the 2 managers. I suppose it's probably the minimum to get 2 draws for him from these matches.
Yeah, definitely. I think that probably saves Ten Hag them 2 draws. If he had lost here heavily, then he would have been under massive. He still is under massive pressure because Man United shouldn't be where they are in the Premier League. We talk about Man United Football Club, but I think they played Villa at the right time, John.
Absolutely at the right time.
Yeah, at the right time, definitely.
Wednesday, without doubt, had taken a lot of physical energy, mental energy,
everything out of it. It was a big result to beat Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich lost a group game in about 42 matches. So to lose Villa, to do that and upset that record, it was fantastic. So and they had a few injuries, and then you lose Konsa, so huge blow for them. But it's still a good point for both teams.
Yeah, more injuries for Villa, so more worries. Manchester United supporters, most of them have stayed, and the team are going across there. And I suppose that's the question. Will this settle things for Manchester United?
No, this definitely won't settle things. Man United shouldn't be in the bottom half of the table. They talk about Man United Football Club, who have spent a lot of money in the summer. So it won't settle things. It will quieten people for a few weeks until they resume after the international break. But they need to start picking up wins. And as I said, this was the best opportunity because they're playing against an Aston Villa team that looked really tired. But Villa dug in and got a draw. And probably before the game, John, Man United would have took the point.
Yeah, he's walking across there, Erik ten Hag, towards the Manchester United fans, applauding them. And they're applauding back. The players are there as well. and then he turns to leave the field. So yeah, overall, over the piece, certainly not. It wasn't Wednesday night, was it?
Definitely wasn't Wednesday night, that's for sure. But listen, as I said, Aston Villa, where they are in the league and how they're doing in the Champions League, it's been a fantastic start from them.
Yep, just the one defeat for them, and Manchester United, their players leave the field after a 0-0 draw here at Villa Park between Aston Villa and Manchester United.
I just wish, John Murray, that your man with the briefcase had 22 new batteries in his briefcase, because all of the players looked like they needed it.
Yeah, it looked as though they needed the batteries recharging, didn't they? Many of them after the efforts of the week. So yeah, there we are. 0-0 at Goodison Park yesterday for me. 0-0 at Villa Park.
It's not about you, John.
Well, listen, I've had my fun this week.
That's very true. Very true. I mean, look, in any other circumstance, and I know we're not in any other circumstance, that is a good point for Manchester United, Clinton.
No, it still is a good point for Man United. Okay. They're coming to Villa Park, so I'd agree with you. They'll probably be frustrated because Villa weren't at the races where Villa have been for most of the season. For the majority of the season, they've been outstanding, Aston Villa. But you must give credit to Man United at the end. They managed to keep a clean sheet, even though Villa weren't threatening. So you take the point before. I just feel when I was watching the game, it was a good opportunity and it was the perfect time to play Aston Villa, but they didn't take that. But you go back up the road to Manchester and you're happy with the point, Crossy.
Yeah, not even John Duran could lift things today, but they're playing the songs anyway.
Yeah, they are.
I've just been watching friend of Five Live Peter Schmeichel just having a chat with Johnny Evans there. I've got to say, I thought Johnny Evans, Clinton, was excellent today.
He was brilliant. Listen, there was question marks of why Martinez wasn't starting, and listen, Johnny Evans went in there and I thought he was brilliant. He was up against the battle even when Duran come on and Ollie Watkins before that, and he got a few kicks in the first half, but he managed to do ever so well. And as we were speaking before, he might not have the pace of years gone by, but what Johnny Evans does, he reads the game ever so well, and he's got a lot of experience. So he came in and done a good job. So it was a good decision from Ten Hag. We criticised Ten Hag, but that was a good decision.
The injuries are biting a bit for Aston Villa. That's pretty obvious. I wonder, Clinton, whether Unai Emery might give his team a little bit of a dressing down there, because he was only saying before the game it's about being intense every single game, every single day. They weren't really today, were they? No,
they weren't. But I don't think he can give his team a dressing down. I think the week that they've had, the emotions and mentally and physically against Bayern Munich, it was fantastic. You're always going to have a little bit of a come down. I said it, me and a lot of people said it before. This was a big game because it's always the next game. And the next game was obviously against Man United at home. And yeah, they struggle, but I think the international breaks come at the perfect time for the Aston Villa players. Some will go away and some of the injured players will have time to recuperate and get back to fitness. But the job Unai Emery's done at Aston Villa has been fantastic, and so is this group of players. Everyone can have an off